Yeah, speaking of that, so I want to say trigger warning first. I have no issue if you are of a different sex, race, anything. You come to the job, you do the same thing that everybody else does. Tie your boots up, put your tool belt on, you go do your job. That's it. That's all I'm asking.
Hello, buddy. Good evening,
Listen to our show. You might have a bonus hole.
He's doing really well.
Yeah. Time is flying by. But
oh, dude. Come Monday, I know the wife's going to be in tears once we drop her off, and I'm going to have to drop her back off here, drop little one back off here, and I'm going to drive to work, and then I'll be in tears.
But it's like, we don't get paid for any extras. It'd be great to be like, yeah, I'm taking a holiday off and I'm getting paid for it.
All right.
Everybody else does.
The only way you get that is if you decide to either A, somehow be extremely good at your job and a good talker, and then you might work your way up the fucking corporate, weird how that works, the corporate portion of it where you're like a superintendent or a general foreman, and then they will pay you for those things because they want to keep you around.
I'm great at my job.
Right.
But
you don't suck dicks.
I'm not great with people.
But you don't suck dicks.
I don't. No.
See, that's my problem too. I don't suck dicks.
Yeah, but somehow you managed to get the foreman job quite often, and
just recently.
I don't know how you're managing that.
I have no idea
because I give everybody the hold. Fire me if you want.
I have no idea.
Good luck with your haul hand. That you're going to call and get because you're not going to get me out of the haul. You don't get me out of the haul. Nobody gets me out of the hall,
No, yeah, I don't call the hall. I solicit my own work, which we're allowed to do, unlike other unions, and
they hate that. If they could do away with that, they probably would. If they could,
they still even with having a required calling the hall for out of work lists. Take like the pipe fitters, for example, what my brother's part of. Yes, he solicits his own work.
Yeah.
He gets company, because guess what? When you're a good hand, they'll just be like, well, we're going to have a call out, so, bringing you in, and then we'll have to call the hall for the next 3 guys, and, we'll do the crap shoot there. And we'll see how that works out for us, and then we'll just lay those guys off and say they weren't worth a fuck, and we brought our own guys in from a different job.
Yeah.
And really, the different job was just the couch. So it's like,
if I could find another way to make some money right now, I might consider it, I see too much catering to in our local, mostly it's people that can't do the job, I mean, I understand, I'm not the best at any of it. I'm not.
Right.
But I'm pretty well-rounded where I could do any of it. And there's not enough of that in our local.
No.
There really isn't. There's too much catering to, and then you see it, you hear about it in all the news and all that, with, what is that called?
DEI?
Yeah.
Yeah, diversity, inclusion, and diversity, equity, and inclusion, DEI. Yeah. Speaking of that, so I want to say trigger warning first. I have no issue if you are of a different sex, different race, anything. If you come to the job, you do the same thing that everybody else does. You tie your boots up, put your tool belt on, you go do your job. That's it. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
Show up every day and do your job.
Mm-hmm.
And then when DEI gets involved into these things, and we have to have, and there's a certain percentage of, okay. There's 3 female apprentice ironworkers on this rigging job. That's not where you should be sending these women. They need to go do the exact same thing, which I tell all the apprentices to do anyway. You need to go to handline outfits, go learn to do the job the correct way, the way that, it seems a little sketchy to you, but guess what? There's safe ways to do these things and do them fast, and that's how you get good at it. And then when you get done with your apprenticeship, and you made all these connections, then we can let you into the plants.
That's how I cut my teeth, between the pre-hinge and then the handline outfit, small companies, man. Climbing ladders, setting up ladders.
fucking carrying a fucking 30-foot ladder vertically because it's easier than trying to carry it, break it down, set it up again.
When I got in, I came down to this company and they still had 40-foot wood ladders.
Oh my god, that's so stupid.
Talk about sketchy.
Dude, fucking Raykoff.
I'm glad they outlawed those things.
Raykoff's one of the only companies that I know of that has a fucking 3-story extension ladder.
Yeah, I believe it.
The fucking thing's fucking 40-something foot. I'm like, we were setting it up on the hospital.
I've set up 40-footers.
Those are so fucking heavy.
They're obnoxiously
so heavy.
Big. I mean,
it takes 3 people to set one of them up.
Yeah.
And the whole time you're struggling.
I'll stand a 40-footer up.
Dude, it fucking sucks.
I'm sure it looks silly, somebody watching, but I'll carry it straight up and down. And
it's the only way to carry it.
Yeah.
If you try to fucking lean that thing back, it's going to gain so much momentum.
Yeah, trying to stand it up is a chore. It is.
It is.
I'll do it. I'll throw it around like an asshole.
I won't be a dick about it. Hey, break that ladder down. Break it? Okay.
Yeah.
Where did you catch it? Slipped.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing that I've noticed too, is that there's a lot of that catering towards it, and it's like, I'm all for it. I don't, not for the DEI portion of it. I'm all for it if you want to make men's money, and then you don't want to complain about the mythical 70 cents on the dollar bullshit.
I'm gonna cut it down real simple. You chose this.
You did.
Nobody can give you what we do.
You did.
And if you're not, it's a physically demanding job, and it's not for everybody. It really isn't.
No.
It'd be no different than me with my shaky hand saying, "I'm gonna be a surgeon."
Yeah, right.
let me cut you up. I couldn't do it. I know I couldn't do it. Not that I don't have the capacity mentally to figure that kind of stuff out, because I probably could. I'm not a dumb. I'm not a dum.
Right.
But some things I'm not physically capable of doing.
Yeah,
and I'm fully aware of that.
Very small mechanical things. No, I'm not your guy. I am not your guy. I about flipped a roller bed over one time when I was trying to hook the chains up, because I got these stupid roller beds. You got about a window about yay big. You got to stick your hands in, get the fucking chain that's this big, and hook it up. And they're like, "Yeah, just hook up some of these roller beds." I went, "Fuck this." Where's the millwright apprentice?
Well, I used to do some little tedious bullshit. I flew. I did RC helicopters for a long time.
Yeah.
And that is a very critical machine that you've got to have dialed in.
Yeah.
And if one little part's loose or wrong, and helicopters, they don't want to fly. they want to spin around and thrash themselves into a pile of parts.
Oh yeah. My dad learned that lesson out hard way. He got one of the smaller, little easier ones to control.
Oh, yeah.
And then he fucking went all out, went to the hobby shop and bought one of those
Oh yeah, I've got them.
big, and first flight.
It's done. Yeah. Oh yeah. And but
It's been sitting in the pole barn for 5 years.
even when I was less financially well off, I was able to afford to fly them and buy them and play with them. Right now, there's no way. Mm-hmm. There's no way I could afford it. You crash one. I mean, you could be out $1,000 just like that.
Yeah.
But even just like the batteries, it was it was an expensive hobby before, but with the way the economy is now, that's not something I could even fathom trying to want to break out those machines anymore. They just sit.
Ironworker buddy of ours, he lives actually 3 houses east of me right here. It's Sean Michaels. He does RC planes.
Yeah.
He's got a big old collection of them, and he was talking about how expensive they've gotten now. Yeah. And I mean, he's like, dude, I can't. He got like a freaking Corsair, badass fucking. It was cool. The little gold wings, sweet wings, World War II planes. And he's like, yeah, I can't crash that thing.
Yeah.
He's like, I get scared of it.
Yeah, I've. It's been a couple years since I've even brought him out. I do guns.
Yep.
And
that's solid.
That's even more expensive, but at least it's not anything that ever depreciates.
Right, it's good ROI.
So and there's always a good use for them.
Yep. Good return on investment if you ever need be.
For sure.
I mean, granted, I'd never sell a gun, but if I had to,
almost every one that I've sold, I've regretted.
Yeah.
Selling, yeah. And when you're in a hurry to sell them, you don't get what you should out of them. And I've got guns right now that I really don't see the need or want to have, but I would never. There's no point in getting rid of them.
Yeah.
I have upped my bouginess, I guess. You know,
Yeah,
so
quality.
I've upgraded a lot of things to where it used to be, I got a lot of guns. You know, now give me 5 of them that are worth, you know, some good money that I know are just top notch. You know, quality over quantity now. You know, but there's not to say that the cheaper guns are, you know, they still work.
Yeah,
you know,
they're still good.
And it's stuff that, you know, you can move your kids into, you know, when they start getting older or whatever.
And the cheaper ones, you're not as upset when you have something happen to them, like it drops or you threw.
Oh, I'll throw my fucking guns. Dude.
Yeah, you
I'll
throw it
them right in the gravel. I'll kick them around.
Yep, and it's
because
like,
when you that's how you test your equipment.
yeah,
You know,
that's fair. That's hard. I watched a freaking Grantham video last week where he did the pistol drop test, see if it would fire.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
a lot of hurt feelings.
Oh
there.
god, I was like, oh no.
I've got a staccato.
Yeah.
and that's a $5,000.
I dude, when he dropped the staccato, it was the first person I thought of. I'm like,
Oh, yeah.
oh Justin, and
But it's an old design.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, it's the original design is 1911. That's where it's a derivative of that. And Series 70 does not have a firing pin sear. It is not uncommon as that, but that's why you have a phenomenal trigger. That's why they work so well.
Yeah.
You know, I wouldn't give it up for anything. But you have to actually make that happen. He had to drop it a specific way. I've got a sub 2 pound trigger on mine, right? And when I took it home after, you know, my buddy was like, you should try, you know, check that thing out. And I was like, okay. So I took a rubber mallet and a snap cap and I had it and I smacked it. I smacked the shit out of it every which way I could. And I could not replicate that. So more power to Grantham for doing that. But at least it doesn't go off in your fucking holster like the 320s did.
Dude.
Come on, Sig, get it together.
Just a little bit of vibration.
Yeah.
I just fucking shot myself.
Yeah.
That guy was just an idiot. That from that video, he just
Yeah.
freaking had his keep the booger flicker away from the bullet flinger, and you'll be
Oh, yeah.
just fine.
Yeah. I've never had a negligent discharge ever.
No.
And that's because you got to treat them like they're all loaded.
The standard rules of having a firearm, man.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not gonna have to repeat them because I'm not in the channel right now. Let's see, maybe we'll branch off, do something else. That'd be fun though. But yeah, no, just treat every gun as if it's loaded, and
But
you
I've
don't
been,
have that discharge.
I've been getting back into archery a lot.
Yeah.
So I'm moving my way back to that again. So I've been shooting my bow a lot
It's an art.
lately. Yeah.
It's an art.
I'm ready to put some deer in the freezer again.
Told the wife if I ever needed to deer hunt, I got about a dozen or so in the backyard that come by. When
Yeah, they're like pets now, right?
Yeah. Hunting season comes around, they come here. It's hilarious. They know they're safe. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, we could just go bed down this long grass, and there's some fucking apple trees over here. Let's go munch on them. And it's
Yeah.
like, nobody ever fucks with us here.